Hey there, got a few more minutes to wait before we start the second half of the show. Actually, it's probably not going to be a half because, I've already done way more than I've got left to do. This is what I've got left to do right here. 2 coins in each flip. And then, of course, we're going to do the big giveaway. The big giveaway there at the end is going to be for this triple-digit gram scale. It's a professional digital mini scale. Not going to lie to you, it wasn't very expensive. But it is a nice little gift, and it's a really good way to learn a little bit more about your coins. Tim Crowell, Shannon McCord. I see you guys were here for a while, but I don't think there's anybody else in here right now. I got a few more minutes to wait. Got one more person in here now. Steve A., good afternoon, sir. You are going to be the first person that I'm going to pull for this time around. Probably going to refresh my coins. Hang on a second here. I reach into the big bag. Pull out some good coins. I'm going to cull out some of the obvious nasty spots. Not even going to bother looking at those. Slows me down too much. Coin Junkie, how you doing? Oh, there's an interesting looking coin. I'll give that one away. Okay. And do that. Pour that out. Put these on here. Now I'm ready to go with a fresh batch of coins. That's 29 minutes after the hour. I'll give it just another minute or so. Let people start noticing their notifications and start showing up. We've got 5 people in here right now. Got 1 like on the video so far. We got 4 people in here who have not pounded that like button. Go ahead and do that for me, please. It helps me and my channel, not monetarily, but it just helps me bring in more attention to the channel so I can possibly get more subscribers and more people learning about coins. That's how that works. You like it, and YouTube sees it as more relevant topic material. So there we go. We got another like. That's how you do it. Just hit that little thumbs up button down there until it turns blue. Guess I'll go ahead and get started. Hello, Akram. I need to communicate with you at some point regarding a box I need to ship to you. I'm always confused about exactly how I need to ship boxes to Canadians because I'm not sure what to put on the box so that it doesn't hit you with a massive VAT tax or anything like that. I want to talk with you about that. So send me an email if you could. I'll reply to your email and we can have a little chat about it. Well, I'm on Steve A right now. I've got a batch full of coins. It's 30 minutes after the hour, and Steve A is here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull out a couple of coins from my new stack here that I just started. And we'll take a look at them and see what Steve A gets. Here's the first one of the 2. Nice big load of die cracks up there. It's a 1956 plane. We do not have a doubled eyelid. And yes, I am refreshed. Thank you very much. I did eat lunch. I'm ready to go, ready to finish this show up. Let's see if we find anything good and delectable worth talking about. We'll scratch on the E. Nothing on this particular coin. Let's take a look at the next one. That's right, my email address, cd@coppercoins.com. Joe McBride, how you doing? Hey, there's a giant die gouge right there. I call this a die gouge. It's something that was carved into the die by a tool or something of that nature. You can tell it's in the die because it goes behind the letters and it only affects the field area. It's definitely a die gouge and definitely a deep and big one on this 1958 Philadelphia Lincoln cent. I appreciate that, Akram. Let's see. What we got going on here? Nothing on the reverse of that one. Sorry, Steve. Get you a couple of decent wheat cents, though. And that'll be for Steve A. I pull out the next pair of coins for Starbuck Jeff and Coins. Our first coin's going to be this 1956D. Get a 1956D with a number of die scratches in and around the date area. I think I've seen this die before while I was doing die variety hunting and didn't find anything on it. Something about those die scratches, I just recognize them. They seem familiar to me. That's right, we can always hope. That's what we do every time we get into these. We hope that we get the best. And for certain, regardless of which direction the roll goes, whether it's good or bad, I'm always into it, hoping for the best. It's in my best interest to hope that you get the best you can possibly get. I'm not going to pass this coin. It has a little bit of wear on the cheek. And I can see that it's a high-end AU coin. That plus it's got some active corrosion on it. So I'm going to take this coin out of the mix, but we're going to check it for a double die reverse first, just in case there's an educational point here to discuss. Okay, so we've got nothing on the reverse to discuss, so I'm going to move this off to the reject pile. Well, why not? It can't be a reject. If you don't have a reverse, it can't be a reject. If it's a reverse, it has to be a reject. Right? Isn't that right? Well, we got a 1957D. No doubling that I can see so far. Nope, no doubling on this one. Let's look down here. Don't see anything there either. So we move on to the reverse. Look on the reverse side of this coin. We're going to be hoping for a double die reverse, although we don't have any 1957D double die reverses yet. And nothing there. All right, Starbuck. Sorry, buddy, we got you the best we could do with what I've got here. Answer to that, Coin Junkie, is yes, they do exist. And my answer to that is no, I do not have one. Don't have one, never have had one, never found one, but I do know they exist. They're pretty scarce. This is for Paul Hampton. Well, this is a 1956D. The mint marker's kind of squished a little bit. This is kind of spotty. It's a little bit too leopardy for me. I'm going to toss it. Too many spots, and there doesn't happen to be anything else on the coin. I'll toss it and grab a different one. Let's see what this is. Never seen anything on this but the reverse. So it's a 1958 plain. It's a decent looking 1958 plain. Has a little bit of planchet wash staining on it, but it doesn't have any spotting or any other issues. The reverse of the coin shows about the same. A little bit of planchet wash stains, but no spots. Hello, Bulldog. Had to do some honeydews. I tell you what, brother, you haven't really missed a whole lot. This is basically what it's been. We have had a few double die lids. We've had some RPMs. We had one pretty nice double die obverse. It was a 1958D double die obverse number 1. Other than that, not really a whole lot. You know, pretty much run of the course for die varieties in a mixed bag of coins that nobody's searched through before. I haven't found any of the major stuff yet. Would love to find some major stuff. You haven't missed anything, Clog the Drain. Not really. I mean, there was a split serif RPM, but nothing else. And my lunch was good. Thank you. Chucky had tuna and crackers for lunch. Well, yeah, tuna. I like tuna. All right, Doug Reese. In this holder, your first coin will be a 1956 plain with a double die lid. There you go. That is the 4th double die lid for 1956 plain that I have found in this bag. fourth one. You making a pot roast in a crock pot? Oi. Where do you live? I'll be right over. Got a little spot on the reverse. Actually, it's a big spot on the reverse, but I think the doubled eyelid on the obverse kind of cancels out the fact that there's a spot on the reverse. I think Doug will enjoy this coin, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it to him. Then we've got this one as his second coin for this flip. We got a 1958D. This one matches up with another die I think I've already seen because there's a die crack developing between the 9 and the D. And on the one that I examined earlier, there was nothing else on the coin. We'll take a look at this one and see what else there might be. And nothing I can see so far. Got a big die chip on the side of the T. Got a little die chip over here on the S, on states. Little die chips all around here. The little die chips. Got little die chips. Alright, got yourself a pretty nice looking doubled eyelid there. 1956 plain Lincoln cent. And we're going to move on to Carabelle again. Carabelle is going to get this coin first, if it's any good. It's a 1956D. I don't see anything on the mint mark, and there's no hub doubling on it. No doubled eyelid. Nothing under the B. Hello, Adam. I'm back on this beautiful May afternoon. It is Saturday, the 2nd of May, 2020. Headlines for today. I got out of bed this morning. Was there supposed to be more? Look, when you get to be 50 years old, getting up in the morning seems to be not only a challenge, but an accomplishment. So, for you younger tykes out there, just wait. Your time will come. Oh, I could start another song, but I'm not going to. Something about somebody's time coming. I listen to a lot of the American Top 40, and there's a channel on iHeartRadio for the American Top 40 Classics with the late, great Casey Kasem. Or if there's anybody here, is there anyone here who does not know Casey Kasem's famous other role? He was the American Top 40, the voice of the American Top 40 for many years. Hey, look, there's a byte error on that. He also did something else. Does anyone else know what else he was? Casey Kasem? There you go. Joe McBride knows. He was Shaggy on Scooby-Doo. This is a nice 57D. I like it. Well, it's got some sort of a... That is not a post-mint stain. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but it has something to do with the mixture of the metal and the planchet. That is not a post-mint stain. Whatever this is came onto this coin before it was struck. I know that because there's no curves, there's no place where the design affects the shape of this little curve thing, or this little stain, whatever it is. That would be interesting to look into. Here it is on the top. No, wait a minute. Now I see it. Now I get it. Now I understand. This was after the strike. This coin had a piece of tape across the back of it. That's what that is. Yeah, if you ever watch an old, just go on YouTube and find someone who's pirated one of the Scooby-Doo episodes and listen to Shaggy, and then go over to iHeartRadio and pick up the American Top 40 Classics channel and listen to, listen to Casey Kasem do his thing, and you'll notice the voice is the exact same person. Okay, that one is going to be a reject. So let's move on to the next coin. Jeremy is going to get this one if it's any good. The 1958 Lincoln cent. Does not appear to have anything on the obverse. That's right, he wrote in the Mystery Machine. I wonder if any of you guys remember the Hanna-Barbera cartoon of Speed Buggy. You remember Speed Buggy, and the guy who drove Speed Buggy looked just like Shaggy. Didn't sound like him, but he looked just like Shaggy. So here I was all the time when I was a kid. I was wondering why this guy looked like Shaggy. I didn't realize it was the same artists doing the two different cartoons. I thought that was always funny. All right, there's a Jeremy pair. Let's see what else we got going on here for Carabelle. Carabelle came back up again. And we're going to pass Carabelle, not this coin. Nothing on this 1956D. Let me check the eye real quick. Nothing on the eye, nothing in Liberty. And we got a big giant set of spots out here. So we're just going to toss this coin, move on to another one. The Dr. Demento Show. Wolfman Jack. That's right, I remember that. And then the other American Top 40 guy, Rick Dees. When I was a little kid and lived in Memphis, Tennessee, he was a local DJ for a Memphis, Tennessee radio station. Can anyone pull the call letters of that radio station? Dun, 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 dun. The call letters of the radio station in Memphis, Tennessee that Rick Dees did DJ for. This would be in the mid-1970s. Nope. WKRP was a show about a makeup radio station in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm talking about Memphis, Tennessee. There was a radio station that Rick Dees did local DJ for. And this was prior to his song Disco Duck and him moving up and doing the American Top 40 out of Los Angeles. He moved to Los Angeles after he left Memphis. But when he was in Memphis, he did local DJing for a radio station there in Memphis. I want the call letters. It's 4 letters. Winner's going to get a freebie. Winner's going to get a freebie. Anybody. Get a little activity going on in here. I don't know what the freebie is going to be yet. I'll figure something out. But the winner will get it nonetheless. It'll be a nice freebie too. No, not KALL. See you later, Jessica. Get me some shrooms, eh? There's a 4-letter call sign I'm looking for. 4 letters of a radio station. Starts with W. Was a radio station in Memphis, Tennessee that Rick Dees DJ'd for. No? I guess it could be either one of those, but I don't know it. I'm looking for one in particular. I want to make sure I'm right, so I have to type it in here. Looking again, he's from Greensboro, North Carolina initially. WMPS, AM 680, Memphis, Tennessee. He was also on WHBQ, 56 AM WHBQ. So 56 HBQ. But WMPS, that's where he got started. Who answered WMPS first? That was Clog the Drain. Clog the Drain got WMPS first. Well, Clog the Drain, you're going to get an extra. And you're going to get it with your reveal coins here. I'll find you an extra here soon. 1956 plane. This one's going to go to Ryan Havoc. I remember the days of radio stations back in the 70s when one of the big things that you wanted to do is get one of their bumper stickers hanging on your bulletin board in your room. I remember getting the WHBQ bumper sticker, putting it in my room. It was a banana. At the time, it was Go Bananas with WHBQ AM radio. 56 HBQ. It was a merge in, I believe, with WMPS at or around the time that Rick Dees was there. Adam, I did get the package today. However, I got it during the broadcast, and I've not yet opened it. The mail came, and I got a bunch of boxes full of coins, but I haven't opened any of them. I'll do that as soon as I get done here, because I'll have a few hours before my next broadcast. I'll have time to open and inspect my packages to make sure that everything got here all right. I'll let you know about it then. Who's next? Shannon McCord. Well, I've got one coin, and I've got 2 coins for Shannon McCord. Let's look at the first coin and see what comes of it. The 1958D. And this 1958D is not special yet. Let's see. Got nothing on the eye. Got nothing in the motto. Well, looking around down here, I don't see anything special about this coin, so we're just going to keep moving along. Look at the reverse. Got plenty of die scratches back there. Oh, we've got a spot. I can get rid of this coin because it has a spot. Oh, there's a struck through as well. A little spot of struck through, probably grease or some other little ball of slime of some sort that the coin was struck through. Because whatever that was stuck to the die, and it affected the overall surface of the coin at the time it was struck. So there's a 1957D. I'm going to move on to this 1957D. That 58D will not go to Shannon because it had a big spot on it. And it wasn't anything worth saving anyway. This has got a few little spots, but those aren't bad enough to really call it spotty. Hey, look, there's a buy error. So now Shannon's got a buy die error. Oop, this one's got a little spot on the reverse. That one looks like a science project. Something growing on the coin, but I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and give this one to him anyway because it is a buy error. It'll be something interesting to have. The 1957 plane. Don't have anything here on the obverse. We're going to have to flip it over and hope for a double die reverse. You got nothing going on here. Not a double die reverse either. So we're going to take this one, bag it, tag it, and move on. We've got Shannon's 2 coins here. And next up will be Sing J. Sing J might be awake now. It's late enough Hawaii time, he might be up. I don't know if he's here. He'll have to say so, because I don't know. I know nothing. Dr. Jones. I see nothing. I touch nothing, Dr. Jones. Nothing really going on that side. Well, let's take a look at this side. Well, nothing there. Let's take a look at this coin, because this is the other one I pulled out of the pile for him. Got a nice heavy die gouge right in front of the eye, but that's not really anything of note. Let's take a look around. See what else we can find. There's nobody saying anything this morning. What are you guys just listening along while you're whistling and cleaning house, or driving to your fishing hole and you're listening to me on the car radio? Oh, I'm on top chat. That might be one of my problems. Let me go to live chat. Now I am on live chat. I am more likely going to see your comments now. Adam Chambers driving home from work. You have plans for the afternoon? Go outside and work in your yard or something? Checking a water bottle full of pennies. Hopefully not full of water, right? A water bottle full of pennies. Well, we got a 57D that has a spot on it. That spot is also accompanied by a pretty decent looking RPM. So who is this going to? Doug Reese. Doug Reese is not in here. I'm going to have to choose whether or not to give this coin to him or to move on to a different coin. This one also has a doubled eyelid. So given that this has a doubled eyelid and an RPM, but it has a spot, I think I'm going to make the command decision to give this one to Doug and let him attribute it, because this one should be fun and relatively easy to attribute. You're listening to the American Top 40, Joe? Are you listening to the classic, or are you listening to the current one? You listening to Ryan Seacrest? For some reason, I'm just not really big on the modern top 40. I don't know why. I guess I'm just old. I like the old shows because they bring up memories. There you go. There's a 1956D that has a double split serif. This one is a listable RPM. It's a pretty decent one. So there you have it. Got nothing there. Well, Timothy, I wish you the best of luck in finding something that has good value. I had a friend one time give me a penny folder. I said, well, I want you to look through my penny folder and see if there's anything of value in there. And I told him at that time, I said, well, I'll look at it for you. It'll take me about 5 or 10 minutes. But I'm not going to flip any of the coins over. And I'll just look at the fronts and I'll tell you if there's anything of value in there. Okay. So I looked through them, and lo and behold, 1944 D over S, die number 1. Really nice 1944 D over S. So I take the coin, I take a photograph, and I take a book, and my loop with me back to the person, and I say, here you go. Here's your coins, and this is what I found. They looked at it, and they were like, oh, wow, that's really neat. I said, so you're going to start collecting coins now? No, I'm not. But at least now I know that one's worth something. So yeah, I can sell it for you if you want me to. No, that's okay. I'll keep it. Nice to be of service to you. Uh, 1957. Oh, this one's icky. Icky coin. Well, we're going to move this one on over to the reject pile. We're going to pick us up another coin here. What are you? You're Spotty 2. We got Spotty and Spotty 2. Spotty 2 say, how do you do? Spotty 2 go to the reject pile. See you later, buddy. Come back when you get it right. Let's take a look at another one here. What I mean when I say listable is one that I would have listed. So if I've seen it before, it will be in the system. If I say it's not listable, then that means it's so minor, it's not something I would have listed in my system. So you're likely not to find it in my system. You'll have to go elsewhere to see if there's a listing number for it. But that's what I mean by listable and not listable. Listable is nice enough to see, and not listable means that you have to have a microscope just to even imagine that it's there. All right, that's Shannon McCord. Ryan Havoc will be next. Got Ryan Havoc coming up again. After these messages on the Copper Coins channel. No, I just wanted to say that. I didn't really have any reason to say it. I just did. You know why? My channel. That's right. I can say whatever I want on my channel. Get a couple of decent looking coins here. What do we got? Ooh, a 55. So 1955 plane. Do we have any doubling in God We Trust? No, we don't. Darn it. We got no Class 6 doubling on the obverse. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse and see if there's any Class 6 doubling on the reverse, because that is known for 1955. And no, we do not have it. So we do have a 1955 plain Lincoln cent in a nice uncirculated condition. Let's take a look at his next coin and see what happened there. Well, another unusual one for this pile, but this one's really badly spotted, and so it's going to go away. This is a science experiment waiting to happen right here. Man, this thing looks like it's been smoking. It's got black lung. All right, let me move on to another coin for Ryan. That one's not going to do it, but it is a 1955. So it's kind of spotty, but I'm going to have to look at it for the double die anyway. No double die. Because if it had the double die, it would be worth a little bit. Now, has this got the double die reverse or no? Gosh, I can't even tell. The coin's so messed up. Nah, it's not. Not a double die reverse either. So it can go away to the same fate that all these other coins can go away to. I'm running out of room to put these things. It's going to go into a bag of spotty wheat pennies that I'm going to sell for just over face value, just to get them out of here. Nice double split serif on this 1957 D RPM. You can see a split on the upper and the lower serifs. Yeah, I can talk about that. Strike It Rich with Pocket Change. You notice some of the Lincoln varieties in the book are not cherry picker listings, but they are of high value. That's because they're two completely different sources. You have a source of information on the Cherry Picker's Guide, and you have a source of information in Strike It Rich. The two sources don't necessarily agree on everything. One of those things that they don't necessarily agree on is what are the best, highest quality, and most valuable die varieties out there. Cherry Picker's Guide has its idea, and Strike It Rich has its idea. So they're different. But yes, I am familiar with the 1991 double die reverse, which is valuable. I am also familiar with the Cherry Picker's Guide and everything they listed. In fact, I know the authors of both books. And I respect the work of both. But I also respect the fact that they are different. They're going to be different because they are different people. Not everybody collaborates on everything they do. I tend to do my own work and stay in my own little corner. If anybody wants to collaborate with me or wants to get information from me, I'm more than open to sharing my information and sharing what I do. but I'm not going to run out there trying to collaborate with other people because that's just not, it's not business wise. All right, we got Steve A now, got a 1956D. It's a rather close mint mark, but I don't see the D underneath that would make this an RPM number 8, which would be a fantabulous coin to have. But unfortunately, this one is not one of those, so we're just going to keep moving along, take a look at everything else on the coin, flip it over and take a look at the reverse. Oh, wait a minute. What do we have here? We have a spot that's going to make this a reject coin. That's what we have. So I'm going to reject that coin. I'm going to move another one into the spot, and this one's a 1956 plain that I'm going to look at this time. Got a 1956 plain that I'm looking for anything around the I or the motto. Looking at Liberty for any doubling. I don't have anything on the obverse, so let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse. Yeah, just because it's a high value coin doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be listed in Cherry Picker's Guide. They all have different standards about what they will and will not list, and sometimes they don't even agree on what a particular die is. I know there was a number of years that the Cherry Picker's Guide would list the 1997 doubled ear as not a doubled die. They thought it was some sort of a die break or a die dent or something like that. And I think their mind has since been changed on that, but just to let you know, there were a number of years that the 97 double die was not actually noted by the Cherry Picker's Guide to be a doubled die. It was a controversial coin. As far as I'm concerned, it was only controversial to them. Everybody else listed it. Okay, that one's going to go to the waste pile because it's a 1958D and it doesn't have any merit, no value, and it is not a pretty coin. This one here has staining on it. It's not spots, they're staining. The difference between spots and staining is that spots are actually eating away at the surface of the coin and stains are just color changes. So with this being a stain that's a color change and it's actually got pretty color, I'm just going to go ahead and keep this coin. In for Steve A. Let's see. Joe McBride, when is the next Cherry Picker's Guide coming out with the next issue? Do I know? No, I do not. I do not keep in touch with the current editors of the Cherry Picker's Guide, so I don't know what's going on with it. I wish I did know, but I don't. Move on to Eddie Jam's question. Did you start collecting coins with the typeset coin folders? Do you still have those folders? If you do you like to go back and look at what you collected back then? I did not do a typeset collection. Everything I did back in the day was Lincoln Cents and Jefferson Nickels. And I started a quarter book and I started a dime book, but they were really too expensive for me to fill because I got very low allowance. And as time went on, my mother would let me search her purse for anything that was silver, anything that was old, or anything like that. But wheat pennies just really kind of took over in my life as being the coin that I really wanted to collect and move forward with. So the dimes and the quarters and the nickels just kind of went in a box. And I kind of just, sort of forgot about them. And I continued on with the Lincoln Cents. Over a period of time, I had a Dansko folder. It's not the album, it's the folder. It's the flip out, push in folder. I had a Dansko folder that I did mostly fill with Lincoln Cents, and yes, I do still have it. I do still own it. Whether or not I actually go in and look at it, not commonly, because I see so many coins. The coins I have in that folder really don't look a whole lot different from the coins that I have anywhere else. And tell you the truth, I'm working so many hours of the week, I just don't generally have a whole lot of time to breathe. So Adam, you think it comes out in the fall? I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know. Now, JT he wasn't editing or doing much with that book over the last 4 or 5 years anyway, so his passing didn't really affect the Cherry Picker's Guide. by that point in time, he had already separated himself from it. And I know that for a long time, Bill Feeble was separated from it. I think he's back to working with them on it again. I think JT kind of folded his work on it after the 4th edition, and I think now they're on the 6th edition. He had been out of the picture for quite a while when he passed. In fact, his passing came to me as a surprise because I didn't even know there was anything wrong with him. And I knew that he had been ill over different periods of time in the past, but I'd seen him since then very healthy. So it was a definite surprise to me. Okay, it's 1958D that doesn't have anything on it to talk about. Just a normal 1958D Lincoln cent. What do I think of the 2x2 holders that you staple? The only thing I think about those is they make very good box dividers. I do not use them. I haven't used them since about, probably 1995. And the reason I don't use them is because not only can the staples be very dangerous to the coins as you're removing coins from the holder to change holders or whatever, but the fact that the staples themselves can rust, and if you keep the coins in any form of moist environment or dark environment, those staples could rust and they could definitely affect your coins. So I go with flips. I like flips a lot better. They're more expensive, but they are nicer. They are easier to change information in. So if you want to change the grade of a coin or you want to change information on what coin that is or what die that is or anything else, you can do that without destroying the holder. All you do is pull the flip insert out of one side, write on it, do something different, make a new one, put it back in there with the coin, and you don't have to ruin that holder, i.e. yanking staples out of it, to change your information. It's not just the yanking staples out of it. Once you write on a 2x2, you're kind of done. It's not an insert type thing, so you got no way of really changing the information. There's a nice little split upper serif RPM right there. I believe this one is listed at Connecticut. I believe it's also listed on my website. I'm not sure though. It doesn't come to me immediately which RPM this is, so I'm not sure it's actually listed at Copper Coins. But it is a pretty nice one. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. Well, if you may not know anything about my past, so I'll tell you. 82. And I decided that I had I had tokens, bus tokens, I had dateless Buffalo nickels by the roll, I had all kinds of stuff. And I sat in my room one day and I was kind of looking around at my collection. I decided, you know what, this really isn't a collection. This looks more like a hoard than a collection. There's no organization to it. There's nothing here that has any. Let's see, Starbuck is going to be next. Let me take a look at his first coin while we keep talking. At that point in time that I needed to focus on something, and I needed to get a focus together and organize everything and sell everything else. Just get rid of everything else. So I decided that my focus needed to be on the Lincoln cent at that point in time because they were the least expensive coins and the most readily available coins out there. So I took all the other stuff I had to the coin dealer at the flea market and I sold it all to him. And this coin is going to be rejected. And the interesting part is die varieties and error coins and varieties and all that kind of stuff. And I found out by looking in my used 1969 copy of the Red Book. Make sure that we looked at it because I set it face up and I meant to set it face down. Okay. Now that we've seen both of them. That's Starbucks coins. About 20, 25, got about a roll worth of these left to go. So we're about 1 hour away from the end of the show. This thing's settled in here real well. And got that, it must not have been a 1969 Red Book. It was a little bit later. But anyhow, I looked at it and under 1939, it said something about a double Monticello, and it was worth like $7. A regular 1939 was only worth like 50 cents, and then this coin was worth like $7. I'm like, wow, that's pretty neat. That's a valuable coin right there, $7. So I got my little magnifying glass out, popped my 1939 nickel out of the book, and I said Monticello, and sure enough, Monticello was double. Good going, son. Nice coin. And I decided at that point in time that I was going to start looking through all of my coins and figuring out what they were. So I rode off to Brooklyn Coin Gallery and got a copy of John Wexler's brand new book, The Lincoln Cent Double Die. I got my Lincoln Cent Double Die book in and started looking through it in a really new world of coin collecting. You guys lagging? Did you lose me completely? Hang on here. Connection. Who is keeping up with me? Tell me, keeping up? Oh, kind of cute. Oh, I was looking at the stat. I mean, the chat, I mean. I did see that there were a couple of people getting lagged, but then when everybody started saying that, that's when it started bugging me. What time do I have right now? 15:15. It's 3:15 in the afternoon. Man, this coin is kind of cool. This is a coin that I just pulled out of here. It's going to Paul Hampton, but I want to show it to you. Because it really looks kind of... It's got a spot on it, yeah. But I just think that the stripes, the colors are just really neat. All right, 2:16. That means you're in Central Time. I'm in the Eastern Time Zone. I'm at 3:16 in the afternoon. Move this down again. There we go. You caught up now? I don't even remember what I was talking about at this point. Something about my history and coins, but I don't remember. I got that copy of the Lincoln Cent Double Die, and I started fervently looking through pennies. I started getting rid of all the other coins that I had just so I could do pennies, and I could concentrate on pennies, and I did. And the rest is history. I went through and I finished high school. Then I went into the military. Went through college as a military veteran. And really started getting involved. A lot more involved in my coin stuff. Probably around 1997 when I got my first computer. The first thing I wanted to do was go to all the websites that had to do with Lincoln Cent die varieties and update my collection so that I would know exactly what I had. Lo and behold, there wasn't one. There wasn't a website out there. So that's when I started working on... That's a nice struck through right there. I like that. That's when I started working on a website I was going to call the Lincoln Log. And the Lincoln Log was on my lowly little member square area in my service provider. This is a 1951D. Not seeing anything here though. It's got a spot. Another spot. A couple of big spots. I'm going to reject this coin. Well, nobody's communicating with me to let me know whether or not they're catching up and keeping up with me now. My stream says it's in excellent condition. Evidently something happened that pulled it out of excellent condition. I didn't find out about it. So as soon as you guys hear me say the word, I want you to type the word into chat so I know how far behind you are from me. I'm going to say the word pop. P-O-P. Just type it. Don't enter it in yet. When I say it again, I want you to hit enter so I know exactly how far behind you guys are from me. Okay? Here we go. Pop. It's about 5 or 6 seconds. So everybody's hearing me. They're about 5 seconds behind. That works for me. Okay, so where we were let's see, at the point that I was discussing things and people started going dark on me, I believe I was talking about back when I was a kid, I collected pretty much everything. I sat in my room one day and I kind of figured out that I had to try anyway to focus on something. I had to have focus in life. This is going to be for Kevin Speaks. Oh, what is that? That's something sitting on the edge of the mint mark. Man, I really thought that was good. Now, this is crud on the coin. Given that it's crud on the coin, it's going to be a reject coin, so we're just going to toss this one. So I got myself to a point where I decided I was going to focus, and I looked around for what I had the best of or what I had the most of, and I decided Lincoln Cents were going to be the focus I was going to go after. So I started selling everything else off and working with Lincoln Cents, and then in 1984 I ordered from Brooklyn Gallery, I ordered a copy of John Wexler's new book on the Lincoln Cent double die. I was like, what is this? So I got the book, looked through the book, and I was thoroughly enthralled. Absolutely thoroughly enthralled with everything. And I decided at that point in time that Lincoln Cent double dies were going to be my gig. Over a period of time, I learned about RPMs as well, and I learned that RPMs and double dies were different, but they were all die varieties. I wasn't a big fan of errors, and the reason I've never been a big fan of errors is because you can't collect a set of them. You don't have any idea when you're finished, because new error types come up, and then even like if you were to collect, let's say collecting Lincoln Cents that are 30% off center with the full date and mint mark area intact. Well, you don't know which ones of those exist and which ones don't. So you could be all your life looking for a 1968S and never find one. Well, that's no fun. I would rather know what a set is. And given that die varieties are all listed by the die that created the coins, then you know if a die exists, then there's got to be coins out there that exist so that you can find them. So die varieties turned out to be what I wanted to collect. So I started collecting die varieties in about 1995. I was doing pretty well with it. 96, I started looking for the 95 double die because that's about when I heard about it. Back then, you didn't really search the internet for that kind of stuff. You just kind of heard about it through Coin World and Numismatic News or Coins Magazine, one of the coin magazines. And over a period of time, it just got to a point where I realized that the internet was never going to have that fulfillment for me of all the information that I was actually seeking to know. So I decided to work on it on my own and do my own repository of information after I had asked the club people who existed already. There's another struck through right there, right on the ER of America. That's a little struck through. That means there was something sitting on the die when the coin was struck, and the die struck through whatever that was into the coin. So I asked the NCADD, which was Wexler's group at the time, if I could do a website showing all of their images, all of their listings. And I was basically told only if you're the one spending the money doing it, because we're not going to spend a dime on it. Well, I didn't have any money. So I decided to move on with that and contact Koneka to see if they wanted help, that I could list all of their information. I was studying computer programming and I could do HTML and I kind of knew what I was doing. So when I contacted these people, I was actually offering my services to them in exchange for copies of all of their work so that I could publish the work under their name. I'm going to reject this one too. We're going to go with this coin. What is this? 56 plain. And, well, they just kind of summarily rejected me too. There's a buy starting up, and Big clog in the bottom of the R. So I got a nice little error coin starting to pop itself up here. And I decided that, well, these people aren't going to help me out. These people don't want my assistance, evidently, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it on my own. So I started doing it. I called my little website the Lincoln Log. I thought that was kind of cute. I call it the Lincoln Log. And this one's ugly. This one's going away too. I started listing stuff and providing cross-reference information, and I was summarily told by James Wiles to cease and desist because I was doing it wrong. Okay. Well, my friend and I, a friend of mine who contacted me through the eBay chat, owned a domain called Copper Coins. I thought, well, that's kind of cool. He said, yeah, he had planned on using it to do studies in early copper. You know, like the continental copper all the way up through the half cents and large cents and 2-cent coins. That was his forte. That's what he liked to do. And he asked me if I wanted to work on copper coins with him and expand the knowledge base into all U.S. copper. Cool. Sure, yeah, we can do that. So we started working on it together, and after a couple of years, he ended up with a number of issues that kept him from being able to work on it anymore, and I was pretty much left alone to work on it on my own. Well, I don't have anything to do with early copper, so his section of the website just kind of went to waste. And over a period of time, he and I kind of kept together on the telephone a little bit, but we didn't get together nearly as much as we had in the beginning. We kept together on the telephone, and at one point he said, you know what, Chuck? I think it's probably just time I hand all this to you because you're doing all the work. It's really your website. I don't really have that much to do with it anymore. I said, I agree with you. So he handed over ownership of coppercoins.com to me. There's a nice little repunchment mark for you. He handed over ownership of coppercoins.com to me, and from that point forward, I owned and ran the website. That was about 2001, 2002. It was 1999 when he and I got together for the first time. Now this is a RPM and a doubled eyelid. You can see the little extra eyelid, and they're in the opening of his eye. We're finding a lot of doubled eyelids in this particular bag. But he handed over ownership of the website to me, and I just kind of continued to develop the Lincoln Cent part of it, hoping that eventually I would find someone to help me work on the other parts of the website that I didn't know. And, well, that just kind of never happened. So over time, over the past 15, 20 years, coppercoins.com has been noted as a Lincoln Cent website, and the rest of the other coins that are copper from the United States never really were included. We had planned on doing things with pattern coins and with all kinds of stuff, and it just never really came to life because, well, I'm really only a Lincoln Cent person, and he was only really a early copper person, and we couldn't find a way to make everything work in a gel format that looks really nice and works really nice together. So he continued his life, and I continued mine, and my life happened to be copper coins, so he gave it to me. And I am forever grateful to Robert Fry for that. But that's what really started Copper Coins and got it moving. Republish my book. Hello, Starbuck. You got a pretty nice coin not too long ago. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know I got you a decent coin. I think it was a doubled eyelid or maybe a RPM. I can't remember, but it was a pretty decent one. You just picked it up recently. I'm finding a lot of spotty coins in this batch. Trying to get past some of these spotty coins to get you some decent coins. There's one that looks like it might be decent. There's one that definitely doesn't look decent, but it's a 1953D. We have to check it. A big old fingerprint on it. I was looking for anything on here that might be of value, but we're going to skip over this one. Not going to make Paul Hampton take this coin for 50 cents. Not worth it. All right, so we'll move on to another one. What is this one going to be? 1958D, and it's spotty too. Meet my friend Spotty, and his friend Spotty too. All right, that one's going to the waste pile. Okay, there's a 1957. 1957 plane. Still contemplating on what kind of an extra gift to give to Clog the Drain for winning our little trivia contest about Rick Dees. Well, that's one for Paul Hampton. Just a normal coin, but we've got another 1957D here. This one happens to have an interesting raised area next to the 5. I do not know what that is. There's another one up here. So there's one down here and there's one up here. They're both raised areas on the coin. This is sunken in, so that's a hit on the coin. These two little tiny things are hits on the coin, but notice that the shine is on the opposite side of this thing and this thing here. Those are raised. It looks almost like it matches the edge shape of the 9, only upside down. That is weird. I'm not going to say it's anything. It just looks like it's an interestingly placed and shaped gouge is all it is. There's 2 of them. But they're kind of cool. That's an interesting looking little error coin that somebody might be able to answer up on to exactly how that was created. So, Paul, have fun with that. We got Paul's 2 coins now. We're moving on to Blue Sandy again. And so, let's see what this is. 56 plain. No doubled eyelid. Keep looking around the coin. We've got a few little spots on this one, but that doesn't really deter too much from the coin. No double die reverse that I can see so far. Let me keep looking around to make sure that there's nothing on here. And we don't have anything on this coin. So we'll move on to another one. And this will be the other one that I move on to. What is it? 1958D. Got nothing on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse and see if we can come up with a double die, perhaps. And perhaps we don't. Double dies are pretty scarce on the 1958. Found one of them already. The rest of them are mostly proof issues. The proof issues have, I think, 4 different listed double dies. Hello, Benjamin. You found a goodie in one of the rolls? Oh, man, I want to know what it is. You email Brady Douglas. It's going to be bd@coppercoins.com. BD is in Bravo David at coppercoins.com. Just email a good picture. He'll get you up on the wall of fame. Now I want to know what it is. I gave you your answer. Now I want mine. Let's see. I'm going to dump this lot of coins here. I've got 2 pulled out for Dennis Paulson that I'm going to look at. Woohoo! Got a 60D small over large date. Awesome. Did you find more than one? Was it in a small date roll or a large date roll? Can you please pictograph the wrapper for me and show me what you found it in? That way I can know a little bit more about the hoard that I had. There. All right, there we go. We got a whole new pile of pennies to pick from. So this is Dennis Paulson's first coin. 1956 Philadelphia Mint. Not a double eyelid. Hello, Sherman. How are you doing, big boy? What's up, buddy? Nothing there. Let's take a look at this other one. What is this? Ooh, it's a 1955. Is it? Not the doubled eyelid. Or actually, it does have a little doubled eyelid there. There's a doubled eyelid on this. Yeah, 1955 doubled die. Oh, it's not the big one, but it's a doubled eyelid. Look at that. Nice. That's Dennis Paulson. I may have to photograph that. That's kind of cool. Congrats, Dennis. Got yourself a pretty one. So you telling me, Benjamin, that you started a roll that had a 60D small over large date in it, and you didn't finish the roll? You just set it aside? I'll finish this later. Man, you got nerves of steel. There is absolutely no way I could do that. All right. Bulldog. Bulldog will get the next pull. I've got 2 coins ready to show to Bulldog. Got this 1958 Lincoln Cent. And I'm going to take a look around and see if there's anything on the obverse. I don't see anything on the obverse. Time to flip it over and take a look at the reverse and see what happened there. Yeah. Wife got some instant cappuccino. Oh, look, it's Adolf. I didn't say that. Wife got some instant cappuccino at the store. All you got to do is mix it in with water. Mix it in really good with hot water. You got yourself cappuccino. You can make it strong, you can make it weak. Just depends on how many spoons you put in it. Oh. I discovered it. I just went and got a spoon and started eating it. You don't even have to mix it with water. You can eat it right out of the bag. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah, about 4 days later, my wife found me collapsed on the stairs. Put a blanket on me. I woke up about 10 hours later. She said, "No more cappuccino for you." Like, oh, come on. It's not that bad. Lag again? Okay, go refresh. I'll stop. Go refresh your browsers. I got us a nice 1957 DRPM. I don't want anybody to miss it. Go refresh. Take a 2-minute break. Go take a break. Go refresh your browsers. Back on, Adam? You catching up with me? You keeping up with me here? Okay, Joe is back. I guess we have to take a break every once in a while just to get everybody caught back up. But this 1957 D Lincoln Cent that we just pulled out for Dennis Paulson is a nice double split serif RPM, so Dennis is getting some goodies out of this. It looks like he has a handlebar mustache. Look at that. Looks like Peter Sellers. All right, let's see what else we've got here. See if we have anything on the reverse. Snidely Whiplash. There you go. Here's our next coin. Wow, look how clean this one looks. And it's got a couple of little stains on it here and there, but compared to some of the stuff we've seen, this is really nice. Check you for a double die. We don't have one. Really nice and bright, shiny coin here for Dennis. A reverse is really nice on this one as well. This is that once in a while when a really nice bright red coin skipped through the system and made its way into a spotty bag. This is not a spotty coin at all. Has a little tiny bit of struck through right there on the top of the right side of the N of United. And that's about it. Nothing else really worth talking about on this one, except that it's cute. It's a nice looking coin. Congrats, Dennis. You got yourself an RPM plus a nice 1957 D Lincoln cent. I'm going to go back to Clog the Drain again here. Let's see what we can pick out for Clog the Drain. I'll pick that coin and I'll pick that coin. And let's look at the first one. 1957D. We do not have an RPM here. May. Little tiny one. Not worth much of anything though, unfortunately. Alright, so let's go on to the other side. Take a look at the reverse and see if we have anything worth discussing on the reverse here. Oh, still shaking the bush over here, boss. Let's see what we got here. 1958D. My dog is laying in a different room across the house somewhere in the hallway or something, and I can hear him snoring. So I know he's alive because I can hear my dog snoring. Isn't that horrible? So you know your dog's just fine because you can hear him making an awful noise. Oh, back to Dennis Paulson again. How about that? Well, let's get two coins out for him. We'll take a look at this one. See what this one has on it. It's a 1956D. Got nothing on the mint mark area. Around the date. Look at the eye. Nothing on the eye. Nothing in trust. In God we. Liberty. Everything's all clean. Let's take a look at the reverse. All in, all done. We're finished here. Alright, next one. Another 1956D. That's the first time I've pulled two 56Ds together. This one's got a spiked head die crack. From the T all the way down toward the ear. In the direction of the ear. Got nothing else on this one though. Let's take a look at the reverse. Nothing doing. Got nothing there. Well, Dennis, you got yourself a decent spiked head die crack out of that. Two 1956D Lincoln cents. Nothing bad about that, I guess. Nothing great about it, but nothing bad about it either. All right, let's go on to Bulldog. What does Bulldog have? It's a 1956D. That one's kind of spotty. We may not keep this coin. A little color spot. A couple of spots. Spots. Now, let's not keep this one. There's nothing on this. So, just because it's spotty and because I'm the boss, we're not going to keep it. Let's move on to something else. Let's try this coin. Don't run away from me. Okay, this one's a 1957 plain. 1957 plain. We don't have any doubled eyelid on this one. Just one spot. One spot's okay. I don't want more than one spot. Just one can be livable. This one has more than one. Not a double die. So, reject. Sorry, folks. We'll find decent coins here before too long. What do we got here? 1956D. 1956D. Looking for a number of really good things. I like die cracks and die chips. The bigger the better. Here we go. That's one way to look at it, right? Die cracks and die chips are just cool looking. I like the way they look. Nobody's ever bothered trying to list all of them. Well, someone has, but he was crazy. He never finished his work. But, yeah, you're not going to find them listed because you're not going to find them listed. Nobody knows which ones progress from what to what and whether or not they're of any value because, well, we don't know if they're scarce. Scarcity makes value and stuff like that. And since nobody's got them listed, then there's not really any way that we can tell which ones could be less common than others. Given that, nobody really cares. There's not a whole lot of value in them. Which doesn't make them any less neat. It just makes them not really marketable. I thought I heard one that had a really weird sound, so I was clinking them just to hear them to see if I could find that coin that had a weird sound. I don't hear it again, so if I do hear it again, we'll get our handy dandy trusty scale and we'll weigh it and we'll find out. Get that coin's mass under control. Well, I got a spotty 1957D. It's not real spotty, but it's not spotty either. It's not spotty. It's not real spotty. Just kind of little spotty. Has a big scratch. That big scratch is going to disqualify this coin from my hunt. I don't want to continue with that coin, so we're done with it. Let's move on to something else. This one will be a nice one. It's a 1958 plain. It's a nice shiny coin. I picked it up because it was shiny. I can't read anything on the coins until I put them under the scope, but I can see shiny. I think that's a flake of metal, like a little lamination type thing. They're on the N of N. I'll flip my little coin over now. We're going to take a look at the other side and see what happened there. I'm killing you with the one-liners. Oh, Joe, I don't know what to do about you, buddy. I'm putting in so many. You can tell that I'm bitter. I just don't like it when someone decides that somehow I've broken some legal terms of service and decides to just delete my work. Don't delete my work. Tell me I've done wrong, slap me on the wrist, and let me move on, and I won't do it again. But don't delete my work. Seriously? You got these websites. I tell you what, websites are private ventures. They're not public venues. Whether you like it or not, whether you think it or not, doesn't make any difference. Facebook is not your place to just go and do public postings of whatever you want to post. It's a private company. It's a privately owned company. It's publicly offered, privately owned. And they have the right to impose whatever rules they want on what you can and cannot say or can and cannot do. So the idea that you can just go to Facebook and say whatever you want to say is just ridiculous, because you can't walk into the mall and just say whatever you want to say. You could get arrested for certain things. Nice die gouge running through the R of trust right there. Beautiful. Cute little thing. It'd be a great marker for something if there was something to be marked. And the problem with people these days is that they seem to believe that you are somehow infringing on their rights if you tell them they cannot say or do something in your public, or in your private area, in your private venue. It's like, for instance, in this video, if I don't like the way you're behaving in my video, I will kick you out of my video because it's my video. And so I can understand that YouTube says, we don't really like the way you did what you did because you could get us in legal trouble, or you could get yourself in legal trouble. Okay, fine, whatever. I won't do it again. Thank you. But you don't have to delete my work. Take your wife. What are we saying, Dennis? Where would I be taking your wife? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Alright, Starbuck again. Back into calling names. I'm going to call the name Starbuck. Here we go. Here's 2 coins. This one is a 1955 plane. 1955 plane. We're going to be looking for the big double die obverse, and we do not have it. We do not have double die obverse number 2. We do not have double die obverse number 3 or double die obverse number 4. We do not have a double die obverse at all. Do we have a double die reverse? No, we do not. So we have a normal 1955 Lincoln Cent that is a little dingy, but it's not spotty. Difference there. And we have a 1957 Lincoln Cent. This 1957 Lincoln Cent, courtesy of, I guess, Starbuck Jeff and Coins, because he bought it. You bought it. This one's got counting wheel stuff on it. This is rubber from the counting wheel of the counting machine. So this one was stuck at the end, waiting to go, waiting to go, waiting to go. And as it was waiting to go, it got a bunch of rubber rubbed onto it from the counting wheel, so that when it did go, that rubber just stuck to it. And we rejected it. So this is the next coin. Another 1956D. I'm waiting to find the first big 1956D die. I would love to find something beautiful. You know, something just outstandingly gorgeous. Something that would make Jessica break out in hives because I'm selling it for 50 cents. Nothing there, though. Makes me happy to present the next coin by Starbuck. I better watch how I say that too, huh? She came really, really close to copying the name of a company. That would be copyright infringement, wouldn't it? $1956D. Got a few spots on this one. So if we don't have anything, we'll just reject it. I reject your reality and substitute it with my own. Nah, we don't have anything here. Another reject coin. We'll try this one. Hello, Arizona Coins. We have a number of nice little RPMs, a few little double dies. We don't have anything major, but we found a lot of nice little minor ones, a lot of nice gimmies, and at 50 cents a coin, the people who have them have done very well. Most of those coins that I have found for people are worth anywhere between $3 and $10 a piece, somewhere in there. A couple of few worth a little bit more. We did find a 1958D double die obverse number 1 earlier. We found some very unusual doubled eyelids, as in doubled eyelids on issues that I did not know doubled eyelids had existed on until I found them in this roll, or in this bag. We're going to reject this one. It's got too many spots on the reverse. I don't like the spots. It's got spots, and I don't like spots. Let's try this one, see what this is. 1956 Lincoln cent. I knew it didn't have a mint mark, but I had no idea what the date was because I am not wearing my spectacles. And without my spectacles, I have a hard time seeing much of anything. Do I think there are still new huge discovery pieces out in the market waiting to be found, or do you think they've been found by now? No, I'm pretty sure there's probably really nice things out there waiting to be discovered. Just in the last couple of years, I know of a couple of different pretty nice double dies, repunch mint marks that have been discovered. One of the double dies being one that Robert Lawson found. It was a 1944 Philadelphia Lincoln cent that had an extra part of a 9 going through the first 4 of the date. Nobody knew that existed until a couple of years ago. And of course, it's been out there since 1944. So, yeah, there you go. All right, 2 coins for Sing J. First coin for Sing J will be this one right here. Or maybe not. No. 57D, but man, that thing's got chicken pox. I'll move on to one that don't have chicken pox on it. No. That doesn't have chicken pox, but that's not what I'm looking for. Let's move on to something else. Let's try this one. That looks shinier. There we go. 1957D. This 1957D coin is a repunch mint mark, and it comes courtesy of Sing J. Let's zoom in really quick and take a look at the finer details of this coin. As you notice near the bottom serif, once I get it focused and put into place, there is doubling on the bottom serif right here. You can see the secondary D down below. This is a nice repunch mint mark. And we're going to focus out now, zoom back out to our other regular size, and continue with your regularly scheduled programming. This has been a special report. It was, I'm going to try to think of the date. I'm going to say probably 2009, maybe 2010, that there was a massive double die reverse discovered on a 1982 small date zinc cent by a person by the name of Richard Ziegler. Everybody called him Ziggy. And Ziggy discovered this die. He sent it to me for photographs so I could take a look at it. And sure enough, it was a beautiful, massive double die. I took photographs of it, and I passed the photographs around in the coin community, and I told them they could use the photographs for whatever they wanted to use them for. Coin World published the photographs. John Wexler and Kaneka, John Wexler's NCADD, or the WDDO system, WDDO DDR system, he posted it on doubledie.com. And Kaneka posted my images as well. And everybody kind of shared. You know, we have a nice brand new major discovery here. Everybody's got to share some information on it. And so we did. We were all really nice to each other about it. But that was a brand new discovery. About 10 years ago. It was huge and major and really nice. So, yeah, I think there's still more out there. There was a period of time in the late 1980s, early 1990s, that a gentleman by the name of Delma K. Romines was a studier of die varieties. He did a lot of die variety studies along with Frank Bauman and Gene Nichols and Lonesome John and a number of other people who have now passed. And Del Romines did a big study on the die states of dies and how many coins a die strikes before it does this. It starts to wear out and become fuzzy nothing. And he once said, and this stuck with me, it was probably, I'm going to say about 2001 when he said this, that fewer than 5% of all die varieties had been located. That there were still 95% of them out there still yet to be discovered. Now, I'm not really sure exactly what he intended by saying when he said that, because in my experience doing this as many years as I haven't seen the rate that would be required to prove to me that still 95% of the different dies remain hidden. Now, if he's talking about the number of coins that were minted, being that only 5% have been found and there's still 95% out there left to be found, I could believe that. I don't think it's right, but I could believe it. You could talk me into believing that. So, like, for instance, the, 4,000, 5,000, 1995 double dies that have been put in slabs, that there could be another 90,000 out there. Yeah, sure. I can get that. Are they in any condition to be collected? Are they parking lot coins? Are they in the bottom of a sewer drain? I don't know. Don't know where they are. Not even going to try to guess. But could they be out there? Of course they could. Yeah, sure. Especially when you start talking about die state on coins, and you're talking about late die state coins, and how many, according to the late great Dumma-Romines, how many coins would have been struck by a die before you get to the center of the Tootsie Pop drop. No, before you get to the late die state. Oh, when you get to late die state, you have probably about 150 to 200,000 coins minted. So if you have a late die state repunch mint mark, it serves to guess that you have at least 150, 200,000 of them minted. How many are actually out there to be found? Who knows? We don't know, because we don't have the disposition of every coin off of every die. We never knew when the dies struck the coins that they were doubled dies. It'd be amazing if that kind of record had been kept somehow, but it would be almost impossible to do. So yeah, Jeremy Johnson again. Hello, Ida Herring. We've got 36 people watching the show right now. 36 people watching the show. We've only got 16 likes on this video. I want to get as many likes as I can possibly get on here. I've had a little bit of an issue with YouTube of late. They deleted my video yesterday because I played background music. I did not realize that that was a problem for YouTube, but evidently it is. I rejected that last coin, so that last coin's not going to be seen in the light of day again. Oh, it might. It might not. I think I'm up to a point where I am ready to announce what Clog the Drain will get. You still around? Clog the Drain? You still here? Because you guys do need to stick around for the end of this video, because we've got this many left to go. When we get done with those, digital gram scale, it's going to be given away today at the end of this show. I know there was nothing wrong with the music, but the problem was they didn't like that. Oh, this one's a Krug coin too. It's going away too. All right, I'll give you another couple of minutes. You guys need to go ahead and exit and re-enter to be sure that you're not lagging. We're not going to look at another coin while you're gone. We'll give you a couple of minutes. Get you guys caught up again. I'll answer you when they get back, Coin Junkie. Going to give it about another minute and a half. Let everybody get out there, refresh, and come back in. Okay, Timothy's back. Joe is back. You guys think Majestic here? He is here. Just wondering whatever happened to the 1960D and the 1943D that I sent you last year, my friend. They're in a box right behind me. I will get them out. Okay, we're back and we're ready to continue. We've got one coin left for Jeremy before we move on. We're going to look at this one and see if this one matches that gig and see if it'll work. Not seeing much on this one. I'll flip it over and take a look at the reverse. Got nothing on the reverse here. I'll go ahead and put this in Jeremy's flip for him. And move on to Kevin Speaks. Kevin Speaks will get this coin and this coin, if they're any good. First one, 1956 plain, got a big giant spot on it. I'm not going to keep this coin. Look at the reverse for the big double die anyway. Not there. Move on to the next coin. Next coin for him. It'll be this 1957 plain. And this one's too spotty. Don't like it. Clog the drain, you are here. What I'm going to do for you having won that little trivia question that we put out a little bit earlier in the show, I'm going to scoop up 2 rolls of coins out of this bag and ship them to you. Next time I send you reveal coins, they'll be in your package. 2 rolls of these wheat cents. You'll get them. I want you to go through them with your kids. Have fun with them. Mr. Schwartz, how are you? This is a 57D. So that's what Clog the Drain is going to end up with out of his little trivia win that we did a little bit earlier. I'm going to send him a couple of rolls of these coins. That's Kevin Speaks. And at the end of this show, for anyone who was involved in this reveal or in reveal number 131, stick around. We're going to be giving away that scale. And Coin Junkie AG wants to know how much just to buy one. Well, buddy, frankly, I don't have them to sell right now, but I could probably order a few and make them available at $20 a piece. If anybody would be interested in purchasing one of these triple-digit scales from me, I can sell them around $20 a piece. They may be a few cents more, I don't know. I have to look into the pricing on them and see what I can do about the possibility of a case discount. See if I can get a case of them. If I can get a case discount, they could be a little bit less. Alright, nothing on this one for Mr. Schwartz, but we'll take a look at this coin and see what happens. Another 56D. Nothing there, though. Nothing on the eye. There were no people in both 131 and 132. They are mutually exclusive from one another because what I did was I went down the list of people who wanted to buy into the reveals, and I just continued filling the list from 131 into 132. So Mr. Schwartz did not get into number 131, but he did get into number 132. Justin Bussman did not get into 1, but he did get into 2. So we have a pretty large group of people from which we will be drawing one name to win the scale. Hello, Majestic. How are you, brother? You're Casper the Friendly Ghost. Did I not answer you loudly enough when you asked me the question? I said they're right here behind me in a box. I'll take care of them as soon as I can. I had forgotten about them, but I appreciate the reminder. I have a few boxes of stuff that I had never had a chance to take care of. No, Joe, you're not in this one. You were in the first one. But your name will go back in the bag to be drawn from for the scale. Okay, here's a 1956D. Let's see what it has on it. Yeah, we have a nothing. And a nothing. And you get those put in Justin's flip. We go back to Mr. Schwartz again. Pick out a couple of coins for Mr. Schwartz and we'll see what we can do. Got a 1958 here. Well, it is a dungeon and they are not lost. I could reach around and grab the box right now and show it to you, but they got lost in my mind. Let's just put it that way. It's one of those things that if you want me to pay attention, you pretty much have to poke me on the shoulder until I turn around and say, what? Because I'm one of those people. I tend to forget stuff. Oh, look at that. That's interesting colors on this 1956. Interesting colors. Got no doubling on this one, though. All right, we've got a nice 1958 and a nice 1956 to put in for Mr. Schwartz. And this 1958 plane is a little on the spotty side. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it yet. It's not too bad. Don't get anything on it though. And a 1957. Not a repunchment mark. Not a double die. Not on the obverse anyway. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse real quick and see what we have on the reverse. Reverse. Struck through on the S of states. That's about it. You hear my dog snoring? He moved in here. He's laying right next to me now. He decided to come in and keep me company. So he's going to snore on my feet. All right, I got Sarah Gordon again. Pick out a couple of decent coins here. We're almost down to the very end, so I'm going to be a little more picky about exactly what I'm pulling out. There's one. 1957D, got a die break in the 9. Little die chip in the 9 of the date. And this one's kind of spotty, so I'm going to throw it off to the side and we're going to start over. Let's kick this cat again. This one, I can see he's got toning on it. Spot toning. All the way around. I like this one. This one's got some pretty nice color on it. This is for Sarah Gordon. Not the doubled eye. Not a repunchment mark, but we can look at the reverse and see if we find anything on the reverse. It doesn't appear we have anything on the reverse. Now you're definitely going to be able to hear the dog. Shh. That's my dog. Oh, gotta love it. Nobody else will. He's my favorite little beast. He's a sweetie. He knows I'm talking about him. He just woke up and raised up when I said that. Dork. Sarah Gordon. Those are yours. So we move on to SRK Iron Man. SRK Iron Man is next. That coin and that coin right there. Nope, can't keep this one. Unless it's a double die. Not a double die, I'm not going to keep it. Moving on. Let's try this one for SRK Iron Man. Got a 1956 D-Lincoln cent. We don't have a die variety on this one that I can see yet. Let's move over to the other side. Stepped to the dark side. This has got a struck through on the E. Struck through something or another while it was striking the coin. Somebody got their chocolatey fingerprints on this one. But it's otherwise a perfectly fine, normal 1956 D-Lincoln cent. Or was that a 5060? May have been a 58. No, it was a 56. I'm paying attention in the here and now. I just don't know what happened 3 seconds ago. Alright, SRK Iron Man. Got that for him. And I'm going to pull another couple of coins. This is going to be for Dennis Paulson again. Let's see if he gets another die variety. He's been getting die varieties almost every time. It's a little bit of wax or something from paper. It has stuck itself to the rim of the coin there. And he does. It's a doubled eyelid. He's just getting die variety after die variety here. It's an earlier die state doubled eyelid. It's a pretty decent one. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what we get on the reverse. Nothing going on there. Take a look at the other coin that I pulled out. 1957 plain. And this 1957 plain is normal. No die variety. So that will be for Dennis. Then we got Clog the Drain again. Don't have all that many different people in each of these. So that's why we keep repeating the same people over and over again, because they could get up to 5 spots, and a lot of people did. And 5 spots will make you 10 coins, because each spot was good for 2 coins. Each spot cost $1, so your coins cost you 50 cents. And there's been some nice coins come through here worth a lot more than 50 cents, that's for sure. Overall, I think this adventure has been a success for you and for me. Ooh, color. Nice color. We got color on this one. No die variety, but we got color. That's an interesting... That's a piece of metal. It's a fold over a little piece of metal struck into the coin. That's interesting. Alright. Got 2 for Clog the Drain here. Now we move back to Blue Sandy. Blue Sandy goes next. Do a good pull for Blue Sandy. Here's a 1956. Nope, 1954. How about that? Got a little spot. A crack on the forehead. 1954 is a slightly tougher date. This one's got that's a big die gouge or something right there. It sure is. That's a big old die gouge. We'll take a look at the reverse. See what we got on the reverse. We have a very late die state coin. Look how obliterated the design is by striking. There you got a big die crack right in the middle of the wheat. Over here you should probably have some die cracking too. Minor, little ones. But man, this is what it looks like when you get a coin that has been minted by a die that is just way beyond its life. The only sharpness is right in the middle of the design. Everything else is weak. You're right about that. But it's a very interesting teaching tool, and it's a very interesting coin. Alright, so the next one here be a 1958 plane. Looking for all of our typical things that we typically look for on a typical 1958 coin. We haven't seen anything atypical yet on this one. Am I using the word typical too much? I typically don't use typical more than the typical person does. But once in a while I can be coerced into using typical more than I should. Okay, SRK Iron Man. SRK Iron Man will be next. Let's see what we have to give Mr. SRK Iron Man. See what we got here. It's a 56D. It is not a die variety. It does seem to be a little stained and a little spotty, but it is still an uncirculated coin. And unfortunately, this one is not messed up badly on this side. It's not damaged. Not damaged on this side, so this one will go to SRK Iron Man. And now we take a look at the next coin that we have for him. This one's been cleaned. That's weird. This is a cleaned coin. You can see the little scratches that run over the upper parts of the design, and the design is a little bit flattened out and everything looks a little brassy. And there's no luster on the coin either. It doesn't have any cartwheel to it. There's all your signs of a cleaned coin. See the little swirl marks on it that don't light up all the time, that only light up when you happen to get the light in the right position? This coin has definitely seen better days, that's for sure. But this one is a cleaned coin. This is what cleaned coins look like. I flip it over and we'll look at the reverse of this cleaned coin. Same on this side as the other side. It's been polished. All those little marks that you see, those are not flow lines. Those are not die scratches. Those are brush marks. So that'll give you an idea what a cleaned coin looks like. This one's going to the copper bin. This one is junk. It's not a collectible coin at all. 1 cent value. Alright, we'll look at this one. I grabbed it and we'll look at it real quick just to see. I can't toss a 1956D without looking at it. Okay, now I've looked at it. I'm satiated, thank you. Thank you very much. Now let's look at this one. This one could actually be one that goes to SRK Iron Man. Let's see what we have. Ooh, there's a little lamb peel. The little area where the coin is, metal on the coin is peeling off. We've seen a couple of these in this bag. Let's take a look at the other side. The other side has a couple of spots, but I'm going to keep them because this is a decent little era coin. And so that's for SRK Iron Man. We have 3 flips remaining, 6 coins remaining in this show. 6 coins remain in the show, and I'm going to grab another handful. I'm starting to run out of pretties. I get more pretties. That one and that one looks pretty. Let's see what it is. Yeah, it's a 57D. Got a few stains here and there, but no real big spots. Let's see what we got on the reverse here. Yeah, not much. Sorry, Paul. And here is a 1958 plane. Remember, we have a double die reverse to be looking for on this. I've also got doubled eyelids. Not gonna do it this time. It's unfortunate, however true. And that's for Paul Hampton. Now we've got Steve A. Pull out a couple of decent looking coins for Steve A. There's 2 coins right there. His first one is going to be, oh, this one's got the circle of death on it. Yeah, it's all spotty. Spotty coin goes away. Bye-bye. Pull out a different coin here. This one's not spotty. This one's nicer. A nice luster, bright coin. It's a 1958 plain. And flip it over and take a look at the other side to see if there's any doubling on it, perchance. And there is not. Nice looking coin, though. Now look at the other one and see what it is. 1958D. Hey, look at this one. This one's got a little... It's got a little die chip on the one, plus it's got really strong machine doubling. It's only on the date area and up around the chin, the lips. This is machine doubling. It doesn't have any actual collector value as itself, just because of what it is, but some people actually find these interesting because they're pretty, well, they're pretty. Very nice looking machine doubling. They're not highly uncommon. They had a lot of trouble with the presses in the late 50s, and that's basically what the deal is with this one. LMD are selling for good money because there's a lot of people out there that don't have any clue what they're doing. And they're spending good money on machine doubling because they don't understand that it is a lot more common than true hub doubling. You get machine doubling, they're not real valuable. A couple of dollars at most. And it's not something to get excited about because they're just not they're not collectible doubling. All right, here's a 1957D with a clogged 9. This coin is cleaned. This coin is cleaned. The luster is limited to the outside edge of the design. There are little scrape marks and scratches running across the design that I can see. So this one is a junk coin. It goes away. Say bye-bye. That one's going to go to the bank. And here's a 1958 plain. This one's actually a very bright coin. Very nice luster. So we will take a look at this coin. It does have a few spots here and there. Nothing too highly involving. And we'll take a look at the reverse. Just a nice coin all around. And the very last coin of this hunt, I'm going to make it one with a mint mark. Let me find a coin with a mint mark here. Here we go. There's a coin with a mint mark. And it's a 1956D with a die gouge down below the mint mark that sticks out underneath the mint mark. But there is nothing else on this one of any clear measure. And, oh, yeah, this one's stained, pretty badly stained brown on the reverse. I think I'll just reject this because it doesn't have anything on it. Coin rejected. Let's find him another one that has a mint mark. I can't read the mint marks, but I can see that they have them. Here's one with a mint mark. I think it's a 58D. And it is. There's a 58D. Oh, this one's got a nice little repunchment mark on it. A split lower serif. So that will be a nice little repunchment mark to add to his collection. Also has a minor, appears to be minor doubled eyelid right there. And so there you have it. Take a quick look at the reverse on this one. Decent, but nothing special. 200 coins, folks, in this reveal. 200 coins in the other reveal. We've got 400 coins total. It's 8 rolls that we've been through in the last couple of days. And now we're going to move on to the big event. I've got to go get a bag. Hang on a second. All right, folks. Here we go, a big old Federal Reserve bag. I'm going to show you all of these. That's 1/2 of all the coins. Now you wonder why I go through so many flips. That's 1/2. Let me grab the other half. This may be more than one bag can hold. Okay, let's change over to this. I'll show you what I've got going on here. There we go. There's all of them, 2 different reveals. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take all of these and put them inside the bag. Then I'm going to draw one from the bag, and that will be the person who will win our 1958 Lincoln cent that was way overweight, plus the scale upon which they can weigh it. All right, here we go. Wow, machine doubling on a 1969S for that kind of money? Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. People should be ashamed of themselves for selling it for that. Machine doubling on 1969S Lincoln cents is actually very common. Very common. Like, almost like there's more of them than there are of normal 1969S Lincolns. Oops. Still see myself on the camera. I'd be like Sherman, I gotta start barking at myself. I see my picture on the camera, I gotta start barking. This is actually heavy. Amazing. Okay. This is what we got. There they are, all of them inside. I'm going to reach way down, stir them up a little bit. We get a drum roll from somebody here. Drum roll. I've got the one in my hand now. I've got the one in my hand. Here's the scale and the coin. Scale and the coin. And the drum roll. Shannon McCord. Shannon McCord is the person who will win the scale and the coin. Is he here? He was earlier. And then I've got all these other ones that I'm going to be sending to you guys. Die varieties and everything included. You guys are going to get your coins. Let me get my scale back out. And we will go back to, I don't know if this version will work. I'm going to open this scale back up and power it on. And I'm going to weigh this coin again. There it is again, 3.315 grams. Oops. Camera. There we go. So it's 3.31 grams. Way overweight. So this one's going to go in a flip with a flip insert. Here's my flip insert that I'm going to put in it. I'm going to get the flip out. And I'm going to write on this. What'd you do with my pen, Sherm? There we go. I'm going to write on this 1958 1 cent, and it's going to be overweight. There we go. Overweight, 3.316 grams. There we go. That's that. Goes in here for Shannon. I gotta write his name on here. Might actually forget who it was for. There we go. Okay. Here we go. And here's the coins that won it. Right there. And here's his scale in the box, never opened. We'll look into ordering more of these scales. I don't know how many more I will be able to get, but I will try. And that's the show, folks. Put this back up on my face so you're not looking at my fat belly anymore. Ideas on why it's overweight. You know, I don't really know, but there is such thing as rolled thick stock. And the coin does look thicker than it should be. It does actually feel heavier than it should. Let me take it back out of here real quick and I'll try to see if I can show you. Get the dyno scope back together. Let me put it on that. Let's see. If I can get it focused onto the edges. Get a couple of other coins that match it for style, that they should be about the same. Oh yeah, for sure. I gotta use both hands for this. The one in the middle. The one in the middle. Like it could be rolled thick stock. It also sounds different. Let's see if I can get this down low enough. Okay. Here's a normal. Here's a normal Lincoln cent. Here's this 1958. Sounds different. Not a lot different, but it sounds different. Here's my 1957 that I found days ago. That one sounds like a silver dime. Sound anything like a Lincoln cent. Alright, so this 1958 will go back in the holder for Shannon. I'm done with the show. Stay in chat for if you like to. I'm going to be back at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. will be the 1945D roll that I'm coming up this evening, and the last roll for the week. And then I've got to get back on this 1949 S roll and see if I can get it finished. Been the bane of my existence the last few days. It could be a foreign planchet. It could be a number of different things. Sure. But I appreciate everyone being here. Jim, Midnight, Adam, Dennis, Steve, Eric, Tim, Dennis, Bulldog, Timothy, Tim. You guys mean a lot to me. You're basically like my family. I will see you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll talk to you later, okay? Take care of yourselves.